Welcome back. You're watching The Property Show. In this segment, we'll take up your questions on Mumbai, Thane and Ahmedabad. So while you start sending us your queries, let's get into giving you solutions for your legal disputes in property matters. Joining us from Mumbai, we have Vinay Singh, property expert. Vinay, thank you so much for joining us today. Our first query comes in from Rishi Raj Singh. He wrote us an email. He says, I'm keen to buy a 2 BHK flat in Megapolis, Hinjewadi, Pune for investment purpose. Recently, I came to know that the project is on 99 years lease. I would like to understand the meaning of 99 years lease. Does this mean that after the property ages and needs to be demolished and reconstructed, will the current flat owners have any ownership on the land or the flats? Is it safe to invest in such projects which are on lease? Vinay, can you decode what 99 years lease means?
Yeah, see, Vasudha, a lot of the authorities who give land for development do so on lease. And what it means is essentially that the land does not belong to the lessee, it belongs to the lessor. You have a right as per your lease agreement to construct one or more buildings on it and occupy the flats. So there's a twin ownership. There is somebody who owns the land, which is the lessor, and the people who would reside in the building would own only the flats. They will have no right on the land. Now, what is to happen to the land after the expiry of the lease would be given to you in the lease deed itself. So it's quite important to study that lease deed. Generally, what happens is that at the end of the lease period, there would be a provision for an increase in the lease rent. For your information, we have authorities like the Maharashtra Housing Area and Development Authority, or we have SIDCO who is in charge of development of Navi Mumbai. These authorities are giving land on very short leases, as short as 30 years. So in your living lifetime, you will find that your lease is going to expire and there might be an issue of revision in the lease rents. A 99-year lease, in my opinion, is a fairly good and long enough period. It's perfectly safe to go in for that. Subject, of course, to you having a look at the lease deed and seeing what terms and conditions are there.
Okay, so Rishi, 99 years lease, quite fair enough time, a good enough time for you and your family, but do check the leasehold agreement for the various terms and conditions. Okay, joining us next is Mr. S.K. Rizvi. Hello, sir. What's your question for us?
My question is, I have already booked the flat and I'm ready to pay all the amount because the good flat is already ready to move. But I will pay to the concerned builder. Can this property be registered or not? So he is not replying the particular property or not. Registry is not possible right now. So kindly suggest me what the...
Okay, we seem to have lost the line. Mr. Rizvi had also emailed us his question. He's basically booked a flat, booked a home in a Sahara City Homes project in Lucknow. He's paid a certain amount of the cost of the flat, but given the cases that Sahara is facing with SEBI in the court, he's wondering whether he should stick to the property. What should he do, given that the court has also given a clear status quo on selling or purchasing the properties. Vinay, what should he do? He's stuck with the Sahara property.
Yeah, I think it's a difficult call to take at this point in time, and I would say that he should proceed with extreme caution. A is that they'll not be probably able to sell it. Now there's a huge question mark over whether the project itself will come up or not. So if Mr. Rizvi's investment is not very heavy, is what I understand, probably he should look at either postponing the decision if that is possible, or I would say exiting from the project altogether, because you don't know which way this is going to go.
Okay, Mr. Rizvi, clearly proceed with extreme caution. According to reports, in fact, the Supreme Court earlier this month raised the possibility of even the CBI and the Registrar of Companies intervening in the Sahara case. So clearly this case is going to linger on and can go either way. We're now joined by Saud Gaibi. Hello, sir. What's your question?
Right. I had booked a property with one of the renowned builder in Mumbai, and that was under the pre-launch stage in May 2010. After that, the construction had started in the said location, but by November 2011, the builder had sent a letter saying there is a delay in the construction process. They had not got the clear CC, what the commencement certificate. And after so long time, where there was no transparency in the communication between the builder and us, and it was only a verbal confirmation to say that there were some delays in the construction. 2 months back, they have given us a letter saying that to take the money back with a flat rate of interest of 12%. Now my question for the advice is, do I have any point to go to the consumer court, and what are my chances to fight this case in the consumer court?
Okay, and what is the builder stating when he says that he's going to scrap a part of the project? What are his reasons?
What I understand is I stay very close to the vicinity, and I understand there are hutments around, and the hutments are demanding more money from the builder, and that's where they want to delay the project. Rather, this project is of around 11 towers. They have built 4 towers, and the rest is still in a issue there. Okay. So my request to the builder is, of the last meeting what I had, was to ask to move into the first 4 buildings, because I have already paid 20% of the consideration value.
Right. Okay, all right. So Vinay, a classic case, a typical case where a buyer buys into a property which doesn't have a clear land title, what are his options?
See, firstly, we have always been saying, and you should make it a point when you're investing in a property, make sure that the plans are approved. Please do not go into it at a pre-launch stage. So this would automatically ensure that you are protected, because you would be able to sign and execute and register your agreement. Your rights would get defined. You know, the builder would not be able to bully you like he's trying to do so today. Nevertheless, I would feel that your best option today is the consumer forum. No other authority would give you the kind of relief that the consumer forum has been providing. So I would say that you collect other residents who are placed similarly with you, and whom the builder may have asked to take back the money, and then approach the consumer forum with a view to say that you would like compensation based on today's market rates. In 3 years, whatever may have been the change, you cannot just drive you off with giving you 12% interest per annum. So that is, I think, the best advice that anybody could give you. Please approach the consumer forum.
Okay, so Mr. Gebi, it's absolutely non-negotiable on your part that you have to check all building plans before you buy into a project, and now you also have, as Vinay pointed out, your option is to go to the consumer courts. Vinay, thank you so much for joining us with your expert inputs.